Hello friends, so it is good to see you again in one more video in Minds of Aspirant. Today I'm going to take a subject which is a little touchy subject. Uh, People may agree with me or people may disagree with me, but here I wish to put on my reasoning so that you can make an informed decision. So whether the stopper stock is essential for a student or not, we are going to discuss that. But first I will make this point very clear. I don't believe in this. Blind belief is not something that is beneficial for you or me. So take the reasoning that I go for, you think about it, and then you can decide on your own. First fact, I will say that I'm not against any topper stock. I'm not against anyone giving you suggestions as to how to clear this exam. I myself will say three people who have for example, even in my class, I use their videos and their reasoning for teaching this class. The first is Shruti Sharma. Not the all the videos. There is a specific video of Shruti Sharma in Vajiram website, Vajiram YouTube, where she explains answer writing mains very clearly. What she is explaining is exactly this exam. So Shruti Sharma's one video, see, not all the videos. I'm not talking about every video of the topper. I am talking about that specific video where she speaks how do you go about writing an answer. The second is Apala Mishra. She has given how do you take notes and other things in a very clear way. I think 3-4 videos are there, one video for each subject. I think that is more than enough. The second is Ananya Das. She cleared, I think, in 2016 when I used to write her speech about how do you clear preliminary examination. I think there is a small part of speech, absolutely, very well established way of, reasoning that she gives for how do you, write a preliminary examination. So these people have, enabled me to teach better or even write better when I was, writing this exam. What you should think about is that their answer copies you can take, you can go for the answers, you can see how they have tried to write these answers. But I have some some points or some questions that I want to put forward to you so that you can make your decision as you wish to go for in this exam. The first and the foremost point is that during these topper stock, one thing that you do not understand is that a topper or a person, okay, I don't want to use the word topper, a person coming and explaining you about this exam in civil services has so many nuances. Nuances meaning is that what is their optional score? That is a very important question that anybody should ask before getting the details of how do you write this exam, is what I feel is the most significant factor. Because see, first attempt, second attempt, people who are sitting and listening to that would not understand that that person might have had specialization in a subject. They may have a specialized subject, a high scoring subject, or an optional which they would have had in their undergraduation and PG, where they would have excelled in that. If that person has excelled in that and their interview score, see these two scores, why I mean, see, I'm not saying that this person has scored all these marks here. I'm not meaning that. I'm saying that if those marks have been scored in the optional paper, the reasoning that you should take is that the guidance should be in the optional paper. The guidance should be how do you write an optional paper? How do you write that specific option? How did they score in that specific option? Not in the GS. This is the one point that students fail to understand, is that they are sitting there, they observe everything related to GS only, because and they also don't talk about optional, because they would have some niche kind of a specific option in which they would have scored. When you come before a crowd of people, you cannot talk about the niche. So what they do is that they talk about the general GS. But general GS, how well they scored in relation to the optional is the first point that I need to know when I try to follow somebody's pattern of reasoning. Because why I say is that many a times what happens is that some of the people who come and talk, they go for this reasoning of do not read newspaper. I have not read newspaper. I have read some material is what they say. But I am going to give this statement. You check what is the meaning of this statement. If somebody says this statement, what does that mean? If somebody comes and tells you that, see, I used to read paper for 2 hours, and I used to be like obsessed with reading paper. Every day newspaper I read, sometimes even 3 hours, 4 hours. So much of time I spent in that paper. So when the preliminary examination finally came, I thought I read an material or a current affairs material, which then I thought that, okay, this itself is easier. This itself is easier. So why don't I follow this material? If somebody makes a statement like that, what is the meaning of this statement? What is the meaning of a statement? For example, if somebody comes and asks me, what have you done in your undergraduation degree? If I say BE Electronics and Communication, does that mean that I have not studied first to 12th standard? Does that mean that I have not put on the basic things before going into the engineering college? And why do I, second point, why do I mention engineering as a subject rather than first? See, you asked me what did I do for my education, and I come up with the statement that I did engineering. So why don't I mention first to 12th? This is something that you should understand. This is something that we as a human, what we do is that we go for the final phases. If somebody is saying that I read newspaper for a very long time and I know it kept on piling up, then finally this material was there, means this newspaper is what enabled the people to understand what that meant. You have to understand that materials do not have a top, a bottom, it does not have any context. Why I keep on insisting on reading newspaper is that you have to finish your first and the second and the third and the 12th standard in order for you to complete the BE engineering. When you come to BE engineering, you can very well go for what you feel is the correct way to do this. But before that, there has to be this development and connection, interconnectedness of reading newspaper. This is where I disagree with Topper Stock. What is the method? See, one more point is that the methodology that I adopted need not be the methodology that needs to be there for making a student learn something. See, these two are different things. Methodology that I adopted may have been suitable for me from a very young age, but it is not the way to make somebody learn something. Learning and making somebody learning and making somebody go through a phase of preparation is to build them towards an examination or towards anything that may happen. For that, the basic fundamental component is that they make their hands dirty with the concept. You see, the point is that what students take out from this is that maybe I should also go for this material. Why you should go for that material should be a justification when you are writing mains, when you have completed all the basics. This is one disagreement I have. The first disagreement which I said was, please think about the optional score. Optional score, if it is high, I am asking you, ask suggestions as to how do you score in that optional, not in the GS. How does a person have a high score in the optional? Discuss the methodologies that person adopts in an optional. This is second disagreement I have. The third disagreement is that, this kind of, what is that? PD365, Inside Secure. I have nothing against, people reading material. This is a free country. We are all free under the, under the constitution. Fundamental right is there for you to practice as you wish to be. But what I have as a suggestion is that if you please check that the newspaper is what builds you. This PD365 or this Insight Secure, uh, how many questions are coming? So if somebody says, okay, I read this and I cleared, how do you think that that makes any sense? There are two things and scientifically said. There is something called as a causation, and there is something called as a correlation. What they are saying is that I read this material and this cleared. It is correlation, not the causation. Causation meaning is that how do you come about doing something? What is the cause of it? For example, I'll give you this example. See, I go to an examination hall. In between, a cat comes. So what I do is, then I fail this examination. Then what I do is that, okay, because of the cat, I failed this examination. This is an absurd logic. This is a correlation. Same way, how does somebody, can prove the fact that, okay, I cleared this examination because I read this material. What have they read before? What have they given the base before that? Before the material, what and all have they studied? Whether they, they had a different kind of a plan, whether they have a different kind of an optional, whether they have something different other than what you do, in an everyday life. Normal preparation needs newspaper. Normal preparation needs books. Normal preparation needs analysis that you do with your previous year question. These are the things I feel are significant in the discussion that we have. Last but not the least, tricks and tricks and important topics. So a person who has cleared may know important topics, may know. See, multiple times writing this, I also may know. But a student preparing first time, second time, how does that help that person? If I say something is important and they go for that important question, what if that portion is not asked, some other portion is asked? See, this is not a 12th standard examination where we see, and 12th standard state board examination. CBSE also, it's a little different. State board examination, we can say that this is the question which is going to come. We are adopting the same methodology in UPSC. We are thinking that, okay, important question means this will come, we can write it down. No. The meaning is that even if I judge this question is going to come, it's not going to help you in the hall. It's how they are going to ask this question, how you are going to prepare this question, how well you are going to read this question. Reading just the answer is not going to help, in this examination. These are the points that I said, and you can make an informed. See, again, I will end this video by saying that, and one more thing, I studied in a Kendriya Vidyalaya school. So I studied Hindi. So if my Tamil is bad, please, bear with me. My pronunciation can be wrong. But there is a Tirukural which is called as Epporul Yarvai Ketpinum Apporul Meipurul Kanbad Aridu. Okay, okay, something correct. Pardon my Tamil. Seriously, this is something that I should have worked on, but I studied in a Hindi school. Something, okay, Epporul Yar Vibe Ketpinum, Porul, okay, Mei Porul Kan, okay, correct. Meaning is, see, I know the meaning. Whatever be the thing that somebody gives, make a rational analysis of that. Think with your brain. Think with a, very, very calmly think about it. Do not go for blind belief. Topper stock need not be the way through for this examination. Rather, the way through this examination can be in the books, can be in the previous year questions, can be in the newspaper. Please think about it, my friends. I wish you well. I have no ill harm against anyone. So this is a disclaimer I wish to make. I seriously, sincerely believe this story of a cat. If something happens, cat is the reason for, cat is the reason for our very bad things. but in Egypt, they used to worship cats. So it depends on the culture where you are. You see something and you observe something because of the pattern through which you are going through. Please come out of the pattern, see the truth, see the light. You will clear this exam. All the best.